If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
suma bëggee wax November 11 rek suma xol dina jeex ndax dina xalaat lu bare
ñu ma faté Basiru be ma fekke ko duma mëna faté
ni nga alaaji kañu ñul si fal tomoy aka ken fela doron ko bi len ko to ma fata
mo yela mo fa akonte la nga fa ay na sey ko tenk abala haju
nte kalta nyin na konte te yam fala fona nga nyota la kaburo ko no lo
janim fama ka bang anata ko yamala ko lieutenant bakar mani nyanki wata kirin ni sojaro la fa
bi nga ko da dayle nga sojaro men jaay mo woro wala si
ninga jibun sey fana be balutu tumando ba ku do la tanta ka telalanka
badara fodi tul badara la ba
saya o be mo bele kunna men ni Basiru fa akega ko say ngol do fana bi je man ta balori
no fengol fay ko yum ke fatal nke ta balwoto na be balwoto ita nyim fengol bondi la kana ka samanan kana ka din
witness this handing over ceremony of seeds and tools to the Ministry of Agriculture. The beneficiary department is Department of Horticulture. Just to give you a background history of this process. During the COVID, there was a quick rapid assessment that was conducted jointly by WFP, Department of Horticulture of the Ministry of Agriculture, the Gambia Red Cross Society, Soil and Water Management of the Ministry of Agriculture, NACOFAC, this is a farmer organization. So there was this rapid assessment conducted in the field, and then the outcome of the assessment resulted to this support. There were different results that came from the results, but this was an immediate support that was requested by the communities because of the impact of COVID. So here today, these items are procured by the Gambia Red Cross Society on the behalf of the Department of Horticulture to be distributed to 96 vegetable schemes in the rural Gambia. In the Northern Bank, in the CRR North, CRR South, and the URR. These are the beneficiary communities that would benefit from these assorted seed items and tools that are procured to support their vegetable production, which during the assessment they said it supports their livelihood and also the nutritional status. So it was this reason WFP decided to provide this funding to procure these items to be distributed to these vulnerable women groups to support their vegetable production. On the agenda We have the arrival of guests, which is done already. We would have a statement by the Secretary General of the Gambia Red Cross Society, and also to welcome all the dignitaries here present for this auspicious ceremony. And after Secretary General's statement, we'll have a statement by WFP country rep. He's going to look at the resilience strengthening of women farmers against the impact of climate change and COVID. So because they are the funders of this support, he is also going to give a statement. After his statement, we will have the statement by the Honorable Minister or her representative, who is here with us, DPS, Minister of Agriculture. And then a presentation would be jointly done by the Gambia Red Cross Society Secretary General and WFP Country Director to the agriculture team here, Director PS and the two directors here, Director General, Director of Horticulture, and the Deputy Permanent Secretary, Minister of Agriculture. Then after that, we will have a photo session with people that are here. Then we can go around to see the seeds. We have the sample of them. We have 12 different pieces of seeds that we have here. We have carrot, cabbage, okra, onion, watermelon, tomato. We have bitter tomato, we have eggplant, we have chili pepper, we have hot pepper, we have cabbage, and we have green pepper. These are the seed items we have. And on the tools, we have watering cans, the plastic watering cans, and then hand fork. These are the items we bought, and also the polythene bags. We also have the polythene bags that are procured in the process. So without much to say, I just want to invite, let me quickly introduce the high table for you. Here with me is Mustafa Drame. Mustafa is the Director of Horticulture of the Ministry of Agriculture. And next to Mustafa is the Director General of Agriculture, who is here present with us. Next to him is the Secretary General of the Gambian Red Cross Society, Alassane Senghor. And next to Alassane is the new Country Director of WFP, who is also here present with us. And the last person not the list is the Deputy Permanent Secretary, Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Musa Huma. So ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. Now I will hand over to the Secretary General for his statement. Thank you.
Sorry. On behalf of the Gambia Red Cross Society, I would like to welcome you all to this very important gathering. At the same time, use the opportunity to welcome the new country director for WFP, and to welcome the Deputy Permanent Secretary, Minister of Agriculture, who is ably representing the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, the Director of Horticultural Services and the Director General of Agriculture, and the team from the Ministry of Agriculture and the Department of Agriculture, and the team from the WFP, Mr. Duncan, who has been ably steering this process on behalf of the WFP. Mine is very important. It's very important, but also very easy. Basically, to say welcome, but at the same time to give a bit of contextual information in terms of why we are here. I think to start, we all know we had COVID in this world, in the Gambia, and we have all been responding to COVID, and we are still responding to COVID. And I think it's clear that COVID is with us and is going to remain. It's a pandemic, health related, but comes with some negative impact on other issues, particularly the socio-economic impact of COVID. And I think that's the reason why we are here. What we are doing today, the process that started from the assessment to today, where we have the handing over of the seeds and the tools, which is the second part of the process. But most importantly, this is something that is addressing a critical problem that many of us are not aware of. All what we see from the outside is the impact of the health impact of COVID on our lives. People getting sick, people dying, and people being treated. But behind that is the socio-economic impact, which I think most of us are beginning to feel one way or the other. And this is something that is here, and even today, if COVID was to disappear, it will be long before we are able to get out of the impact, the negative impact on the socio-economic lives of the people, particularly in this country, in developing countries like the Gambia. Now, as we sit here, we talk about the food chain, we talk about food supply, access to food. Yes, it's perfect, it's good. We can walk into the shops, we can walk into the stores, we can buy whatever we want. But as humanitarian and development practitioners, we think ahead of the curve. And thinking ahead of the curve means we need to look at some of the medium to long-term implications of the COVID pandemic. And that is why WFP thought it wise to engage the Ministry of Agriculture, as they have they've been doing for a very long time, and also to engage the Gambia Red Cross to think ahead of the curve, meaning what is going to happen to the lives and livelihoods of the Gambians today and tomorrow, even if COVID disappears from this earth. And that is why it's important when you invest in helping people to take care of their own livelihoods, because that's not only providing them with access to seeds and tools, but it's also giving them and making sure that they do that with dignity, in a dignified way. We all remember the saying that instead of giving someone fish, you teach the person how to fish. And this is exactly what we are doing here. Today, the priority should be looking ahead of the curve in terms of what is going to happen to the livelihood of Gambians, even if COVID disappears today. Yes, the rainy season has been very good, has been very successful so far, but I think it would have been even more successful if there was nothing like COVID. On the other hand, we also need to look at the supply chain in terms of food, access to food, and availability of food. I give a very easy hypothetical explanation to that. And that is, in the case of the Gambia, if you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a greater percentage, if I don't use percentages, I think I would be more accurate, of the food that we import, particularly rice, comes from Asia. And this is our staple food. And we all know that COVID started in Asia. Now, production had stopped, I'm sure, like it has done in many parts of the world. Production of rice had stopped at some point, or was halted at some point, even though if it had restarted now. So that will create a gap in the pipeline. This is where now we need to think very smart in terms of covering that gap. Let's hope there will not be shortages, but even if there are no shortages, but there will be price hikes. Because if where we get it from, the supply and the demand doesn't match, there is going to be a challenge. And this is where we are thinking as humanitarian and development practitioners ahead of the curve to see how we can cushion and bridge that gap to ensure that the supply chain is maintained and people would have access to food continuously. This is why it is important that we all come together to support communities, to start working on horticulture and agriculture in general, to ensure that they have and they maintain food on their tables. The Red Cross is committed to continuing this process, working with all the partners, particularly the government of the Gambia. We know the government can't do it alone. We are auxiliary to the government, and we work with partners like WFP, who have been committed and still committed to supporting the Gambia. And we will continue to deliver that, to mobilize resources also from our traditional partners to complement whatever government is doing. I would like to once again say thank you to WFP for the trust and the confidence, and thank you to the Minister of Agriculture and the Department of Agriculture and Horticulture for the confidence and the partnership, which we value so much, and we will continue to engage and to deliver on the expectation of all Gambians. I thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Secretary General, for welcoming all of us, and also to put this discussion to a contextual frame. As you heard it from the Secretary General, the COVID does not only impact health-related issues, but also it impacted the livelihood, the social being of a human existence. And this is what we try to bridge, at least to provide these livelihood supports to our women in the rural Gambia, so that they can come back to normalcy, which is going to take some time actually. But with efforts, with commitments, we will be there someday. So that's the partnership that he's explaining. Not to waste more time, I would now want to invite the new country director of WFP, who is here today to give a statement, but also the donors to this presentation that we are witnessing today. So you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Mr. Musahuma, Deputy Permanent Secretary, attending on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Alassane Senghor, Secretary General of the Gambia Red Cross Society, Mr. Saiku Sanyaga, Director General of the Department of Agriculture, Mr. Mustafa Drame, Director of Horticultural Technical Service Unit, other distinguished government officials present, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, allow me to start by thanking your ministry for providing excellent leadership on COVID-19 response for the agriculture and food security sector from its onset in March this year. Also, Mr. Secretary General, you said everything. Really, very good statement. Congratulations and thank you for your role. Important role played in the Gambia for the response to the COVID-19 and for the partnership. Though I am still new in this country, I have been briefed and updated on the initiative the government has implemented to ensure effective response to COVID-19. With your government leadership, the responses have been guided to be informed by assessment. One of such key assessments was the joint assessment conducted by the Ministry of Agriculture, WFP, and the Gambia Red Cross, and it established the support needs for women farmers in community garden schemes. This assessment reported the following challenges: burden of women, inadequate land, also affected by salination due to the rise of sea level, and land conflict issues, inadequate water supply, inadequate inputs, impact of COVID prevention measures such as ban of weekly markets and border closure, which resulted in income loss, farm gate price dropping, post-harvest losses, depletion of savings, and so on. In response to these challenges, a package of support has been proposed: food assistance, seeds and tools, market access, maintenance of rice irrigation infrastructure, upgrading and expansion of community garden infrastructure, provision of rice drying and storage facilities. This set of support has been prioritized as per the needs identified by the farmers. We have worked with the ministry to ensure provision of food assistance to the government resources, while partners have complemented government efforts. We have also worked with the Gambia Red Cross and NACOFAC to support speedy harvesting and post-harvesting to reduce losses. In the medium and long term, WFP will work with partners to support the government to improve production efficiencies, promote value addition, and facilitate market access of the produce. In collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, WFP has partnered with the Gambia Red Cross Society to procure and distribute seeds and tools for 95 community gardens, supporting 20,000 women farmers in NBR, CRR, and URR. Of course, this assistance is complementary to efforts by other partners in the sector, such as FAO and NGOs. Also, the needs have been huge due to the combined impact of crop failure, post-harvest, and farm income loss from the previous cropping season and COVID-19, as mentioned. The challenges faced by the beneficiary farmers clearly show the impact of COVID-19, which are also affecting the negative impact of climate changes and community-level poverty and instability, which causes disputes and migration. In this very context, our partnership aims to address the strengthening of the resilience of women farmers against these challenges and shocks. Intervention support through community gardens addressing climate change not only creates climate resilient communities, but also promotes social cohesion and sustained peace as land resource conflicts persist in this country. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to commend again the government leadership of this initiative. I also wish to express our gratitude towards the Gambia Red Cross Society, which is our reliable, strategic and operational partners on the ground in different sectors to get the job done together, despite in the context of COVID-19. We look forward to further collaborate with the Ministry of Agriculture and the Gambia Red Cross to explore together the medium and long-term solution to the challenges which women smallholders are facing. We must also be innovative and mobilize additional resources to expand the project to communities across the country, but also to cover the medium and longer term needs for resilience building for food and nutrition security. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director, for those remarks. Just quickly to give some of the actions that we are doing with WFP. Very important one, that is the support to fishmongers in Gunju, Tanje and Burfoot. We are also working with WFP and Minister of Women, Children and Social Welfare to provide safe drinking water for these fishmongers in Tanje, Burfoot and Gunju, but also to construct fish smoke house and rehabilitate 5-6 more new houses, and to rehabilitate 3 old smoke houses, and also to provide sanitation, which is providing latrine and shades for women breastfeeding mothers that works in the fish landing site, and also to construct solar dryers for fish dryers that are there, and construct a storage facility and a cold room. So this is another project that we are working with WFP along this coastline. And now the drilling of borehole is almost completed in all the 3 sites. They are now doing the distribution of networks, water distribution network of these boreholes into various sites that we are identified to provide clean water. So thank you very much for WFP, and all of this is in the context of COVID, to at least provide water, because when you say people need to clean their hands, very often water is not available, then the idea would be defeated. So that was the reason why this emergency bore water supply is also initiated with WFP. So thank you so much, Director John. Now I would want to invite the Deputy Permanent Secretary representing the Minister of Agriculture to give a statement.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony. Mr. Mustafa Drame, the Director of Horticulture, Dr. Seif Hussain, the Director General, Department of Agriculture, Mr. Alassane Samuel, Secretary General, Gambia Red Cross Society, Mr. Yasu, the UNWFP Resident Representative in the Gambia, the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am deeply honored to be here on behalf of Honorable Ami Fabre, who for circumstances unavoidable was the reason why she cannot be here with us. However, she has asked me to extend her apology and affirm to this gathering that she is here with us in spirit. Mr. Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, when COVID hit in March of this year in the Gambia, there were some regulations, public health regulations, to try to contain the pandemic. Amongst them was the closure of borders, the closure of lumos, the closure of schools, and the closure of air, sea, and land borders. Those public health regulations had very direct impacts on the food system entirely, from production through the value chain system, and even the regional and international linkages for inputs and other foods. So if there is any sector that COVID hit hard, I want to think it is the sector of agriculture. So that is why quickly, after the first declaration, as I said in March, the Ministry of Agriculture brought its traditional partners together to do a general assessment of the possible impact of COVID on the sector and put up a response plan to mitigate those negative effects that COVID would bring to the sector. And this sectoral assessment that is the reason that for this handing over today was one of those assessments. And this assessment was looking at the impact of COVID-19 on the horticultural sector. And after the study, a whole lot of problems were cited out or were found out from the assessment, but amongst them was the lack of seeds and simple tools. That's why we are here today to receive from the WFP and the Gambia Red Cross Society on behalf of the farmers these seeds and the gardening tools. I want to assure you on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture that the collaboration with the WFP and the Red Cross Society in regards to the dispensation of these seeds and gardening tools and even beyond is going to be strengthened, widened and deepened so that at the end of the day we can achieve the targets that were set before the assessment. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture, once again, I want to profoundly thank the UN, WFP, the GRCS for this collaboration and these inputs. And I want to assure you that they will be put in very good use and it will have a very, very positive impact in the reduction of the impacts of COVID-19 on the horticultural subsector of the Ministry of Agriculture. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you so much once again. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you so much, Honorable DPS, for those encouraging statements. We want to acknowledge the supplier of the seeds who is here with us to witness this ceremony. Mr. Joe is sitting behind there to witness this ceremony. He is the supplier of all these seeds. So congratulations for fulfilling your part of the requirement. You already fulfill your contractual obligation to provide the seeds and tools, and this was observed, and then the technical specifications were checked by the ministry, and it was confirmed that these were the items that were identified to be procured. So we want to thank you so much for that. The next agenda item is to invite the Secretary General and the Director of WFP, plus the Director General Agriculture and the PS, to come so that they can do this handing over, symbolic handing over of these items to the Director General and the team.
Director can be in the middle of
Sorry.
No, director.
Bro, some can stand here.
Okay, I think director you can come here. Two of you can come here. Yes, and you can go. Yeah, maybe hand over one of them. Yeah.
Yes, we are handing over.
Close. Six as well.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me just give the quantity of each of these items that are here today. The tomato, we have 500 tins of tomatoes, 500 tins of cabbage, 500 tins of okra, 300 tins of onion,
400 tins of bitter tomato, 600 tins of eggplant,